There's so many, Chad, there's so many different ways to skin a cat, so to speak. Right? You know, sometimes you just have to modify things to do the best you can to make it come out. And so I suppose when I head off to work, and I'm down there fucking dealing with these 90-year-old people, and they don't understand why I'm talking on the phone when I'm supposed to be taking care of them, you know. I just can't, you know, when I'm gone, I just can't. And then I can't afford to quit my job and sit here, so every time there's a little issue, I can get involved with the problem solving.
No, I understand.
I'm relying on you.
Listen, Dad, listen to me. I want you to understand something.
Yeah.
I love you to death, and we're just talking. There's no reason for us to get upset. I'm a carpenter, so a carpenter, wood, building things, stuff like that. When you have me do stuff like, oh well, geez, this is unorthodox. I mean, when I say unorthodox, it's not like I can just build it out of wood and make it all better. It's like I gotta look at like your refrigerator with all the dents on the bottom, and I just gotta use my head as a human being. Like, yeah, I see the dents and it sucks. It's on like plastic is what it is. It's plastic all in there. I can try to make it good, but carpenter, when you're dealing with carpentry, it means woodwork. So anything that you want me to do with woodwork, I can do. I'm good at it. But I'm just being honest with you, Dad. No need for upset now.
See, that's the problem. We get in an argument because I don't agree with you all the time. Okay? I don't like Jim because he's so cocky and he does that. But sometimes he does have some good ideas and he's not afraid to make modifications to make something work. Okay? Sometimes, not always. Okay? But what I'm trying to say to you as a carpenter, I mean, I'm a lot older than you, Chad. You know, you're working in a house that's not level. Well, you can't tear the whole house down and make it level.
No,
you can't tear the whole wall totally out to make it level. You have to compensate.
No. That's totally different. I get you on that.
No.
We're not talking about modifying your house to make it level. We're talking about a refrigerator.
When you see something, this is what and I'm being honest with you. I swear to God, I don't know if
I'm not mad, and I don't want you to be upset.
You know, I see you a lot when you do something. You're almost like what I call black and white. You know, when something needs to be done, you don't care if it costs me $100 in material.
Of course I do.
You just go up and get it, and you just fix it, and then what's left, you just put out in the garage. Okay? And it costs me a lot more money than you can imagine, where you may have been able to think about it for a little bit and say, well, you know what? It's not right. It looks like shit because you open the door and it looks like somebody dropped it or something. And so let me see what we can think about here. Okay, now I'm going to give you an example. And I really think this would work. I've been looking at it too. Okay.
What are you looking at? The
bottom?
bottom?
The bottom.
Okay.
I've just been wondering. Because see, that's why I'm so pissed off, because I paid $100 for it, but I did tell you and Jim to look at it and check it out. And you guys said everything was good. And you said it was making ice, and you didn't say anything about all the scratches and the broken pieces. You know, I don't think you looked at it that good to start with, honestly.
I looked at it good, but I guess I thought that you knew.
You've seen all the parts we had to fix, and there was some obvious ones.
Yeah, Dad, sometimes it's hard to, I'm going to be honest with you, Dad, I get what you're saying. But when we're there, listen to me, when we're there, it was and I'm there, and I'm on your behalf, and I wouldn't get anything that I thought was fucked up. He had it plugged in, the guy that we bought it from, he had it plugged in, and the ice maker was working as far as I knew, because when we opened it up, there was ice. So we didn't really know, I mean, we didn't, I guess, go through and tear the whole thing apart looking for any problems, but we just kind of looked at it as a glance, and we thought to ourselves, I'm going to be honest with you, I'll be honest with you. I said it needs to be cleaned up, clearly, because at the time it wasn't clean. I'm like, but it's producing ice, which is good. That's what I was thinking. And I'm like, everything else, I mean, if he's paying $100 for it, it's a pretty good deal. clearly, once you get it to your home and you start digging into it, dude, that's the issue a lot of people have.
Chad, I'll go along with that.
I mean,
But I'm just saying.
I would have never got
when
it if
you're
I thought that.
representing me, it shouldn't be like a bam, bam, bam. See you later, ma'am. Oh, by the way, Dad, you need a plastic thing at the bottom because there isn't any, and that's going to cost $80.
Dad, I didn't know.
I mean, there's other things. Even that pan at the bottom, the handle was broken, and actually Jim did a good job, kind of forming it so it kind of looks okay. But there's still a little chunk out of it in the left. Okay, but let me just suggest something on that.
Maybe I did fuck up.
I just want to.
I mean, I guess maybe I did.
I just want to suggest.
I thought you knew what you were getting into.
I didn't see it.
All right.
I only seen it on Craigslist. I told you that. I was working.
All right.
Okay, but anyway, I just want to make a suggestion on that, just for consideration.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I tried to tell you that before, and you acted lost about it. You act like you didn't know what I was talking about. But you know how an air condition has those little things that, little
Yeah, the little
things that pulls out.
Yeah.
You know how they always break, and
Oh, yeah.
even when you put them up, you can
Yep.
almost see a gap where
Yep.
a mosquito could come through or something. Oh, for quite a long while here, when we had all the air conditioners going, Kathy had one in there, I had one here, one in there, one in there. Okay, and since then we've got a little better. We got a built-in one now. This one here is a different, newer model that's nicer. But when we put them in there, we used to use that little small. I showed it to you. I showed you the piece right out there. I pulled it out and I showed it to you, that white thing. Because I said you could use a piece of that for that
Yeah.
little thing. But you want to cut it out. And then
No,
put
I'm
it-
just trying to
you know,
understand what you're saying. When
Okay.
you're saying to put something on the back side of it, I want to be able to make sure I can fit it in front
Yeah,
of the
but
back
I
side
mean,
of
if
it.
you put it on the back side and then you put some mud on this side, that seals it. And
Okay.
then all you have to do is smooth it down and paint it white.
All right.
Okay, but anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. So we started putting this little thin stuff that we was able to buy, and I forget how we come across it, but I'm pretty positive Lowe's has it. We don't need any, but Lowe's has it. And so because it was already white, so we could put it in, instead of those little organ things, we could put it in and we could seal it in. We could put it in, put insulation on the other side, and then put another piece on the back side, and it was already white. You didn't have to paint it. And it just kind of built it in, you follow me? And it looked good. When I'm looking at it from here, I'm not seeing, just the insulation in there, or foam or something. I'm seeing a nice white thing all the way across. Okay, so you know how thin they are, right? They're real thin, right? Okay, so I was just looking at that the other day, and I asked Jim if we had any of that stuff, and he said, yeah, there's some in the garage. And when I looked at it, it's real thin. I don't know exactly how
You
thin.
showed me some of it.
Thinner than that.
Yes, I
you
know. Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, so I was wondering, and maybe you can answer it, maybe you can't. But that bottom drawer that we just got setting in there right now, okay, once you get your pieces that you ordered, right?
Right.
And I know you have your other, I've seen it in there, it was sitting on the table. I think that drawer has to, it kind of sets.
It
goes
sets
in.
in on the pegs that I'm ordering.
Yeah.
And then this thing slides into it.
But there's a slide thing that you took off,
Right.
and that's at the top where it holds it
Right.
up, right? Okay, but anyway, I'm not sure, not 100% sure, because I didn't work on it, didn't take it apart, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that once you get that drawer in, there's gotta be a gap
On the bottom.
on the bottom.
Of
There gotta be
course.
a little bit of a
Yeah, it
gap.
doesn't rub.
Right, okay, so now if you wanted to use your, what I wanna say, your savvy workmanship, without saying, well, I can do that, but I'll tell you right now, it's not gonna happen in one day. You're sounding like you're gonna have to work
Wait a
on
minute,
it
I'm
like
talking
you're
about
gonna-
if I had to bondo
Well,
it.
but you're talking
If you're talking about something different, then it might not take me.
Just listen to me, you're talking about, it ain't gonna happen in one day, so you're making it sound like you would actually have to work on that, like a body job, more than 6 hours.
Well,
You know, I mean, how much money do you want me to spend on that?
that's the thing. I don't know that you should. I mean, I did paint it. It doesn't look that bad,
Looks bad
Dad.
to me, because just like I didn't even want.
Okay, then tell me how
In
you
all
think I should
honesty,
fix it.
I didn't want Haley to see that.
Oh,
'Cause while
Haley.
while she was here, you was opening up and looking, and she didn't come over and look. I didn't want her to see it because she sees things like that. But she's way more handier than Devin as far as carpentry and things like that. Okay, but back to that little piece. I'll bet you that if you measure that out, you know how you marked it and you painted to get a good line? You did
Yeah,
that.
it's a good
You did
line.
that, okay, but if you measured it to that depth or length like that, if you cut one of them pieces that's real thin, now you gotta remember those things.
It doesn't curve around though. At the lip of it, yeah, you could put a piece and put it down, but the damage that you have on the bottom, and I can show you, it goes around the top to the bottom, where the that's the thing. So yeah, I could put a nice flat piece of something on the
The
top.
only thing I'm trying to say, Chad, if we had something that was where you could wash, because you know when you spill something, you can wash it off, and that stuff you can do that. Okay, but anyway, if you cut it perfectly, to set in there where it would go just up to the part you're gonna be pulling in.
Right,
you know,
right.
the thing. And then when you get over here where all the damage is, okay, if it come out, you know, just right at the edge. Okay, now this is just my thinking. I don't know, but I'm just thinking this is a possibility. Okay, if you cut perfectly, I think you could take white caulk both sides
White cop.
and caulk the front. Okay, now where it's kind of messed up right in the front, you're seeing that because nothing's setting there. There's no piece of paper setting there. You know, you're seeing this edge is messed up. But if this thing come over like that, you probably won't see it.
Yeah, well,
Then
no,
you-
that's not correct. You'll see it down here. Come on here, I'll show you.
I don't think.
Because I thought about that myself.
I don't think so. And even if you did have to fix it,
Unbelievable.
get some kind of a fucking sandpaper or something and round it off.
So look,
Why you hit it?
it comes.
This looks like a real crappy
See this?
job right there.
What do you mean? I painted
Say
over
you
it.
did it, it was like that.
Okay, but what I'm saying is it comes down here, okay? See it's cracked down here? So if you put something on the top, okay, you can do that, and I get it, and caulk in here and all that and make it look good. But then you'll have an edge here because you'd almost have to bend over. If you're good with having an edge here with the idea that this is still fucked up, then I can
What I
understand.
was thinking about, because you know why? You're down there on your floor, putting your head down, looking at it. If you're looking at it from up here, you're not going to see that bottom part. You know what I mean? Because the board's going to come over.
Well, let me be honest with you. Because this thing shuts and this seal right here goes up against here, if you had something that came right to here, okay, and stopped, I mean, I would think that you would see that. I mean, think about that from
understand
talking,
I understand the rubber thing.
right?
Okay, I wish I could bend over and stuff.
I know you can't, but just tell me.
But I mean, you know, if it came here where it still seals, you know,
Right.
then you'd be hiding that.
You just have this
You'd be
down
hiding
here.
that. You'd be hiding all this flary
Yeah,
stuff.
you would hide all that.
This piece here sticks out.
Mm-hmm.
It almost seems like you could take some sandpaper and just sand that round it or something. Okay, but what I'm saying, once that piece is in there and it's caulked here, caulked there, and caulked there, but not it don't go up so far that the rubber has to seal. Okay, it just seems like you'd be hiding what you see from up here. You know, all the deficiencies, and you'd have to really get down like this.
I get what you're
I'm
saying,
thinking-
but it needs to be flush because if you come out a little bit more just to try to
You'd try to come
not
out-
to see it, this thing wouldn't
if
close
you-
correctly.
If you tried to come out too much, absolutely you wouldn't seal it, and then that would ruin the whole thing. But if a person could place it in there so it'd still seal and then caulk it in, I think the only way you'd see any deficiency would be if you'd go like this I mean, I could just leave it that way, but I'm just saying.
If you're not happy with it,
I
I
mean,
want to try to figure out a way to make you
I
happy.
don't know. I wish there's a way. See, the thing of it is, I can't afford to.
I mean, that's
shut
not
this-
even that big of a deal. I mean, you're seeing it as a big of a deal because we've been working on this. But if a normal person comes into there, I don't think they're going to draw their attention to that. Honestly, as long as everything's working. But I mean, again, I have no problem trying to make this right. But just tell me how you want me to make it exactly right, because I don't want to waste your time or waste anything. I just want to make sure it makes sense to me, and then I can do it, Dad. You get it? I'm not trying to upset you. I'm not trying to say nothing of that. I'm just simply saying, like, me as a person, like, I'm just trying to make it make sense. If you think that we should put a piece up here and somehow caulk it, we can totally try to do that. And I don't know how it will look.
What are there anything we could use there to just try to make it a little bit better than what it is, without shutting the whole thing off and having to put.
See, that's the problem. And again, anything you do, I mean, it's gonna have to dry. I mean, we're dealing with now.
This should have been done before.
This should have been, really should have been, honestly.
Well, I don't know.
And I know, I'm not mad.
That was you. You brought it in. You said everything was ready. I mean, you could have seen that.
I thought you seen that.
I didn't see it. No, I didn't.
I didn't either until you actually brought it up to me. Honestly.
I mean, you could have said, "Hey, it's not perfect down there, but if you can
But
live
if
with
you
it."
want to try to make it look right, and I'm just trying to think of a way that I can do it where we wouldn't be out of a. I suppose, if we could put something on there or dry fast and we can just sand it down and paint over it, then we can probably get rid of most of the blemishes. I don't know what that is. I know that when we deal with Bondo and stuff on a car, and you might as well figure that because this is plastic. And even plastic on a car you do Bondo on because there's plastic bumpers and plastic, you know what I mean? So we could probably make it look a little bit better, but I'd have to put more hardener in it so it hardens quicker. So that way we can sand it down the same day. But it would, you know, I can't guarantee anything, Dad. I'm just trying
Then
to.
you gotta paint it. What if? Okay, let me throw something else at you. Again, I wish.
I mean,
you
I'm
would
just
try
not.
I just wish that you would really, when you do things, I wish you'd really try to do it in my behalf, not like, well,
I always do it.
I don't care how much it costs. I'll just go by this.
I never think
Okay,
that way. Though.
you know, I know another thing up there at Lowe's. I've been there a million times. You know, they have little.
Maybe
trim,
we can have a little trim
They have
piece.
trim
from-
pieces, and they're very thin. You know what I mean. And if you looked
We
around,
can try that.
You may find one where you could just glue it in there, and it would just be a trim piece that would hide the
Hey, we can
deficiencies.
totally try that. I would be willing to try that. But again, it's something that is I don't do every day, so I'd have to try it and see how it works. And if it works out great, then great. And
So
you're
it's
right.
just
It's a nice refrigerator.
I wanted stainless steel, but I didn't want to go backwards, and I'm
No,
going
I get-
backwards
I-
because
I
that out
get
there
you.
was working perfect. The other thing that I noticed on this, which you're probably going to have an excuse for that too.
I don't have an
or
excuse for
whatever,
any of it.
But it seems to me like, I don't know why, like right now it's not running and we had that door open. You know, if you did just common sense, it seems like if you open the door for a long period of time, it would kick on, right? But it's not. Okay, but I come in here a lot in the middle of the night.
What does this say right here? It says allow 24 hours for adjustments. So when you go and you click something on, don't expect the motor to just come right on, Dad. It says right there, if you put your glasses on, allow 24 hours for adjustment. So when you adjust this,
I
don't
didn't adjust that. That wasn't even what I was talking about. I'm just saying that's what it's supposed to be right there.
That's what it is.
Okay, I suppose that's where it's set.
Yeah.
Okay, no, what I'm saying, we just had this door open looking at that, and this didn't come on. But you would just think that opening this up, you know, it would start cooling down, then it kicked back on to get back to.
I'm sure it
Okay,
does.
Okay, but anyway, I'm just telling you because I happen to live here.
No, I get
and
it.
And I come up here all the
I
time.
get you, Dan.
And I get up in the middle of the tank to pee.
I know.
A lot of times this thing is working when we're all asleep, you're asleep, and
Like right now?
yeah, and then
You hear that?
Yeah, and it's.
Is that what you're asking about?
Chad, don't please.
No, I'm asking. Is that
I'm
what?
saying yes. I mean, it's cool.
Okay.
But, you know, when the doors ain't being open or anything, and I'm just wondering if that's going to be a problem. Because it don't seem like the white one I had works as much as that one. I'm talking at 3
Yeah,
o'clock in the morning, if I get
know.
up to pee, that may be running.
Listen, man. I swear to God to this, I love you, but I am not an appliance expert. I don't know what's going on. I know it runs when it needs to run, and it.
Do you
it
think
doesn't.
that noise is
I
okay?
think that's normal. I think honestly, even with the other refrigerator, as much as you, I understand, it still makes a noise too. When it runs, it runs. It's not obnoxious right now.
No,
It's
it
running.
isn't. It
So I
isn't.
think it
I'm
needs
just saying
to.
I don't want to put any more money into the
No,
something
no.
wrong with the fucking motor.
I'm with you.
Already, Chad, this can't be fixed.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's another thing I wanted to talk
It
to you
can't
about.
be fixed.
When I press this button, you just don't hear the thing. I don't want to pull this out, but there's a little gear there that is supposed to help with the auger when you decided you wanted to put ice in
I know
here.
you're saying you think the motor's shot.
Well, it's got to be because. Oh, it's not.
You just said that. I don't know. It just made noise there.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard it make noise. So yeah, that I guess the motor is good. I suppose if you ever wanted to get this fixed, we do have the piece for it. But the problem is, like I told you, when we had it out here the other day, there was a couple pieces that were broken
And you
and
checked
were missing.
the prices, and it was high or what?
One of them was, yeah. Remember that one piece was like $70. And
Well,
James
maybe.
don't even know how he took this apart. And the thing of it is, I don't know how to put it back together. I mean, we got a diagram, but it's kind of, I don't even know how to explain it.
I know how to explain one thing. When I put it in, I didn't plan on going backwards in quality and workmanship. I wanted to get something better. And I probably should have just bought a couple new and got it over with, or used one. I got a used one thinking it was working, but we didn't check it out.
I guess we didn't realize how many problems it
I mean,
had.
Like right here, see, you say you didn't know because you couldn't take it apart, but you can see that's broken. See that piece right there is broken.
Right, but I didn't.
I mean, there's just different things
Yeah,
that was broken.
okay.
This was missing. Now that's not working. But you said it's maybe we.
Well,
could-
now it works. So what I'm saying is, we could technically get this going if we wanted to. We'd have to buy a couple pieces. Maybe I just search and see if I can get a good deal on.
Maybe you could find a used
I
piece
can,
like
yeah.
you did.
So
Okay,
we'll
but with
do that.
This ain't a priority, but if you could find a little piece
That'll go over it. That'll make it look sharp.
Yeah, it would just cover
That's
the blemish.
that's what you're looking. You're looking for a sharp edge, not all dented up.
Want an L, to go
I know
like
what it
that,
is.
and it would still seal.
Maybe they have something that we could buy that will go over there. That'll stick to it. That'll be sharp. I'll have to check.
And then
I mean,
if not, I suppose I just have to live with that.
well, one way or another, I want to make you happy. So if we need to do what we need to do. I'll do whatever it takes, Dad. You know that. I'm not out to hurt you.
And then after, when I was telling you about those little quarter round in there, I tell you, and then I go to bed and you do your thing and everything. And then I was just laying in there thinking about it. When we took Kathy's out, okay?
We took all the quarter round out.
Quarter round. It's probably right out there in that garage.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't
so-
know what he did with it. He took it out.
I guarantee it's in that workshop.
Okay.
Or in a corner somewhere.
So you want to
Okay.
put quarter round back
Well,
in?
no. So there's only a couple pieces missing.
Right.
One by the door and one over there.
Sure, we can put it back
rather than
on.
taking it all off, it probably. The reason why I didn't want to go buy a new one was because it's going to be plain. And then I even thought about that. You can actually buy them plastic that is different
Can I s-
colors of oaks. Like you can get a color like
Yeah, I know,
this. And so
I understand.
If you took a piece of that. so
I'm
you
sure
see
you
it,
could probably
you
get
could
some
match it up.
soda closer.
Right. But I'll bet you.
Well, just take them all off.
Well,
They
yeah.
were all there for the carpet to begin
I
with.
understand, but I'm talking about manual labor. It would take you more time to move the bed, to move everything.
It wouldn't really take me that much time, guy.
Just listen to me. To take all of them off would probably take you longer than just putting two little pieces in if it was the right color, which we probably have from Kathy's.
Okay, no problem. If that's what you want to do.
Don't you agree with that?
I'm not going to agree or disagree. because I don't know what would take longer, wouldn't it, until I started doing it, dude. The bottom line is, you're right. If we would take the what you have there off, I would have to move some stuff to get it. But once I get it out, it would come out like that. Putting new ones in, you got a piece in there, so that'll pretty much cover most of it. Except for I feel like except for I feel like you're gonna be short a little bit, which means we're gonna have to go up there and try to find something.
No, we probably have it right in the garage because we
Okay.
use Kathy's.
Okay.
We took
So
hers off.
if we have it in the garage, you want me to go ahead and use
Even
it?
if you don't have it in there, I think you could go up to Lowe's, and you know they make different collars. It's
I know that. I've seen
Okay,
it.
so if you took the piece where you seen the collar, you know,
I would bring it
piece of
right
wood,
up with me.
yeah, and then if you just looked at the
If you want to do that, that's
collar
fine.
stuff, because all it is when you first walk in, the first one on the right is off, and then the one over there is off, and then just those little pieces between the closets.
Listen,
I'll bet you 6 feet.
if you want to put the quarter round back in there, that's fine. We
it's
can do
not
we
gonna-
can do that.
Yeah.
It would be, honestly, if I'm thinking of it as cost and labor and all that shit, it would probably, because the whole reason of that quarter round, Dad, is when they had the carpet in there. That's what they
You
did.
don't
So
have
if
to
you
know
just
that.
take off what you have, it would be
I'm
less.
not an idiot.
But if no, I know you're not. But if you want to go and you want to try to piece it all back together, that's fine.
It's not
I'm giving you my opinion.
It's not the piecing it together. When we were working on it, he pulled this off by accident.
Okay.
This fucking thing is coming off anyway.
You're right. Well,
Look
we
at
need
that.
we need
It needs to
the
be hooked up anyway.
right.
But it's just one
But,
piece. It even, I think it's behind here. I think it's just right there. See, look at that. I bet you that's 4 feet right there. So that would cover
Okay,
that.
so look here. So that will cover that and probably a little bit
And
extra.
these pieces would probably cover that, the rest of that. And then
But it won't cover that.
No, when we got one more piece.
So if you have some here and you want to put it on, that's fine, Dad.
I don't know exactly.
I got the finishing nailer. I can do it. But it's just what you want.
Yeah, it stops right there, Chad. Right there. So you're talking another 3 foot or 4 3, and I bet you $50 million.
Well, put it down there. It'll show you.
This piece.
Okay, but remember, it comes over this way a little bit too. See over there, it comes over this way a little bit. So just put it down there. This will probably be good enough for this piece. Put it over there, and maybe a little extra.
Anyway, if you just, when you're drinking and going out into the thing, if you just look.
I'll look, and if they got some, I'll take it.
And if not, take this and
It's
when
no
you go to
problem.
Lowe's and,
No problem.
and look for a piece on the refrigerator that'd be a real thin piece you may be able to glue on
No
there.
problem.
And then I'd say just
There's no point in getting
let's see
upset.
this here, is that on there?
That's on there too. It's all the way around. So it needs to be there. It needs to be there. It needs to be there. That back there is fine. This going there is fine.
It's just
It looks like, so it's no problem. I get it. I totally get it. And you got the bait.
only place.
So that's it.
So see, you'd have to pull all that apart and
I
pull. No, that would have to come out.
let me tell you something. The time it would take me to pull all this shit apart, and then the time it would take me to go all the way up to Lowe's to get it, and then come back and I'm just telling you, I don't care. If you want it like that and you like it like that, Dad, I'm for it. I'll do
I
it.
don't like it that way.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be cheaper for you to have me pull off the rest of it like that.
I don't know.
I believe it because once I get it off, it's gonna just pull off,
Yeah,
Dad.
it'd be easy, and then you leave all my shit fucked up. Everything has to go back the way it is. For all I know, you'd even have to disconnect some stuff over there.
I wouldn't have to disconnect
This would have
anything.
to come out. That would have to
It's-
come out.
It really wouldn't, though, Dad. I'm being honest with you. As a carpenter now, I wouldn't even have to do it. 'Cause once this shit
Well-
starts coming off, dude, I can almost.
Well, I'll just not have you do this, and we'll do something else. I
Well, no. If whatever you want, I want to do what you want. If you want
want
me
to
to,
do what's faster.
I just-
and I've said it a million
promise
times.
you it's gonna
and
be
I'll say
faster.
it 1,000,001 times. We probably have those pieces in
Okay,
there.
okay.
So you can forget about having to go to Lowe's. I'm pretty sure.
okay, no problem.
And-
I'll
and if
just
you
put
can't
these back.
cut a piece and
No, I
stick it down
can.
there,
I can.
And you're not even talking about painting it. It's already the cost.
No, Dad. Look, if we got all the pieces, you want to put them up here. I'm good with that, Dad.
All the pieces. You
No
know how much
problem.
we need?
Guess what? Not much. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. Tomorrow, all these pieces will be in here. Do not worry about it. It's all.
Leave this in here?
Yes, please. All right. I gotta go to the bathroom. Wow. We're 30 minutes into this video. He's just crazy, man. Bang. That would be too easy. That would be too easy. Fine. Close your door. Can you believe that? He immediately went in his room and he just locked everything up as we were talking. This is what I'm talking about. It's so hard to deal with my dad because he's not a carpenter. He doesn't understand. He's like, well, you're a carpenter. You know, I need you to modify my refrigerator. And it's just like, dude, I will do the best I can, but it's not like I'm making your refrigerator out of wood. I don't know, dude. I mean, you guys understand? It's just like, it's ridiculous, man. He wants me to, the plastic in the bottom of his refrigerator is dented and damaged. And he wants me to fix it, but in order to fix it right, you would almost have to Bondo it, you know, and make it smooth to look like a crisp edge. And he doesn't want to do that. He wants to do some hack job. And he's expecting me to understand his hack tactics. I don't understand hacking. I understand doing the right way, the wrong way, or Chuck's way. All right, until next episode of I'm Fucked in the Ass by My Old Man.